She may be just 18 years old, but already Maria Sharapova is a multi-millionaire. Since winning Wimbledon in 2004, her life has been transformed. This is the success story of the girl from Siberia. The day before Wimbledon 2005, and the champion returned to the hallowed turf of Centre Court and the scene of her famous victory.
You know, I've always said there's nothing better than winning Wimbledon. Nothing can beat it, really. Nothing. Winning Wimbledon is just, it's like the best out of the best. So cool. That's where it all happened. To be back and to see it all again with fresh eyes is great.
She's a lot older than what she appears, and she can bring a lot to the sport. Marketing-wise, I mean, people know Sharapova, especially if you're a young man in between the ages of 16 and 25, you know what I mean?
Sex by itself doesn't sell tennis. You've got to be good. It's not enough just to look good. You've got to have talent as well, and that's the beauty of Sharapova. She combines the two.
Maria doesn't enjoy winning. She hates losing. There's a big difference.
I know right now she's definitely the highest paid female athlete in the world. And if I had to guess, I bet you she's probably in the top 10 among all athletes.
In 1986, after the nuclear accident at Chernobyl, Yuri and Yelena Sharapova were moved from nearby Gomel to the Siberian town of Naganya, where Maria was born a year later.
The climate is very tough. Snow like a hell in the winter time. But the great thing about Russian way, always find a way be happy no matter what. So. And it's not like special people, it's like whole society like that. No matter what, we just get through, keeping going and try to be happy as much as possible. Today. Maybe tomorrow never comes.
I didn't grow up having a lot of money. I realized that it's very hard, you know, to get something, and it's very, very easy to lose it. So while you have it, it's very important to hold on to it.
The move to Siberia was to be the first of several that the family would undergo over the next few years.
I remember, you know, in the freezing cold weather, I would be in my big fur coat, and I'd be out there playing against the wall, and I'd be the only one in the whole park. And I remember there was some tourists coming with like a video camera, and they were saying, "Gosh, you're crazy."
From such harsh beginnings came a desire to succeed. In 1992, when Maria was 5 years old, she took part in a junior tennis clinic in Moscow, and so impressed her watching Martina Navratilova that she suggested Maria leave Russia to go to tennis school in the United States. Borrowing $700, father and daughter made the long trip to Florida, leaving behind Maria's mother, Yelena, who didn't join them for 2 years.
I didn't have any idea of what was happening. I knew I was going somewhere else, but it didn't cross my mind where, and I could care less. I was just like, what book should I take with me? You know, will this be interesting? How many? And my mom was like, you can't take that much. That was the only memory I remember. But and it was really interesting because I knew that my mom was not going, but I didn't have that sadness, like, oh my God, I'm leaving. You know, I didn't really think, you know, it's just, oh, well, I'm going somewhere fun.
The Bollettieri Tennis Academy near Miami has produced some of the greatest names in world tennis. When she arrived on a scholarship at the age of 7, Maria knew no one and spoke not a word of English. The academy was where champions such as Agassi, Seles and Hingis learned their skills. But back then, Maria was just one of 300 other young hopefuls living the dream of tennis stardom.
In the beginning, Maria was so thin, if she turned sideways, you'd actually miss her. She wasn't a standout for sheer athletic ability. She was a standout because of the way she focused. And every ball she hit was really like a mission statement.
That's no fun to leave your mother at that age. No fun to go to a strange country where you don't speak the language. The other kids make fun of you. You're in a dormitory situation. So that showed tremendous strength of character, that she could go through that and develop. Not many can.
Even as her tennis potential began to shine through, life was anything but easy. Her father eked out an existence working as a laborer on $5 an hour. Father and daughter were only able to see each other twice a week.
I tried to find any job, just make some little money for living, pay for a little apartment, you know.
It was a very difficult time, and we didn't have a lot in our lives, you know, except each other.
It was a very tough time.
We just held on to each other, and we look forward to, you know, to good things, and I guess that's what kept us, you know, kept us alive.
Those years were probably the closest thing to, you know, to hell for them, and the fact that they got through that probably made her stronger. And when she's on the court fighting, I'm sure that's where that comes from.
By the age of 14, Maria Sharapova was already winning junior titles. And with that came a newfound confidence.
I really want to become #1, and I work hard all the time, and I'm willing to go out there and practice. So I really know my goal, and I want to achieve it. I've always been the kind of person that if it's harder, then, you know, I do better. I want it to be better and better with every single day. And even though I didn't think it at that time, something just drove me.
But Maria's life wasn't just about the growing demands of her tennis. She was still a child growing up.
You see my name, it's Maria. And as you may see, I like to paint, so I just painted this for my wall. Oh, and look who this is. It looks like a real kangaroo. This is my bed. It looks so comfy, so I just can't wait to jump on it. Woo! Okay, enough of that. I'm a very big stamp collector. You see, I have a lot of American stamps. I have Russian stamps. I have French stamps. My uncle and my mom collected them, and now they passed it on to me. And these are all so beautiful that, wow, I love these stamps.
By the time she turned professional at the age of 14, her father began playing an increasing role in her tennis development.
I don't think tennis is the toughest subject to learn if you're smart and you have knowledge. And I asked her if she wants me to help her, and all the time she said, yeah, I need your help, I need your help, I need your help.
He started coaching her and ensured that all around her was the necessary support. But on the circuit, there were stories of an ambitious father who could appear overbearing and overly protective of his daughter's interests.
He was certainly well known as someone who would sit in the sidelines and shout, and someone who had a huge amount of control over his daughter's career, particularly in junior tennis, because of course the players you're talking about are so young. I mean, apart from being a huge potential source of revenue,
It's cold.
she's also a 14-year-old girl.
Today, Yuri Sharapova is regarded as a major influence on his daughter's career. Offering advice, often in Russian, he follows Maria around the court. Yet he and her present coach, Robert Lansdorp, are seen as the people who've turned Maria from a bright prospect into a champion.
He's treading a fine line between being a normal bloke and being one of the mad dads. He clearly exerts a reasonable degree of influence over her, and you do wonder about quite what an upbringing she's had.
Hello.
What is clear, however, is that Yuri has subordinated his own career opportunities to provide Maria with everything she needs to realize her huge potential, both on and off the tennis court. What is perceived by some as being Yuri's naked ambition for Maria is seen in tennis circles as a proud father's overwhelming support for his multi-talented daughter.
There's my dad. Say hi.
Maria herself is in no doubt that they are on the same side.
I can't control what other people say. You know, what matters to me is that I know the truth, and my dad knows the truth, and that's the most important to me.
The bottom line, God knows, I knows, Maria knows, my wife knows what it takes, what we gave, and we really do not care what the people think.
I feel like a regular teenager, but of course I'm not. You know, I travel around the world, and this is what I love to do. I can't imagine myself being in a school sitting there for 8 hours a day or more, you know, and just studying. I love doing activities, and I love competing, and this is what I'm doing, and I'm having fun at it, and it's what I love to do. I do school online, and they send me the books, and I do my work, and I submit my exams, and I have a year to finish all the subject that I take. And if I don't, I flunk the class and I have to do another class, but hopefully, you know, I won't flunk anything. I haven't yet. And basically, that's very different from anyone, you know, in the world doing this. You know, I'm just probably one in a few. So I think it's very difficult, especially when you have so much going on, like your tennis and everything. But I like to study by myself, you know, and of course I have my mom always with me, and she always helps me with my math and, you know, Russian, of course, I study that. So it's very difficult, but I fit it in with my schedule. I think it would be special to win Wimbledon. Like I said, I just think that there's just a wonderful atmosphere over there, and it would be wonderful there. You know, I'd be just, you know, center of attention, and I mean, that would be great. When I was there playing this year, I just felt like it was just, everyone was watching, everyone was cheering, and it was so fun to play, and then that competitiveness was just at its highest level. And I think to win Wimbledon would be great. And of course, if you win the US Open, you know, in the US, that's also very big. So I think, you know, if I had a favorite, I would actually pick Wimbledon, because I really, really loved it there.
The girl from Siberia was on the verge of the greatest prize in tennis and becoming the world's most bankable female athlete. At Wimbledon in the summer of 2004, the life of 17-year-old Maria Sharapova was about to change forever.
The whole 2 weeks, I was the happiest girl. I mean, I was just, when it was raining, I was like, oh, rain, I love it. And I didn't have a worry in my mind at all.
Maria had arrived at Wimbledon as the unfancied 13th seed. Yet through a mixture of tenacity and youthful talent, she made it through to the final to face Serena Williams, the reigning champion. It seemed as if Maria's dream might be about to come true. Then, on the eve of the greatest match of her life, disaster.
The night before, I got really, really sick. I felt like something was not right. I got a sore throat, and I started feeling terrible. And when I get a sore throat, I know it's not good. So I was absolutely devastated. I had a terrible night. I didn't get much sleep. I woke up feeling, you know, all right, not great, sick, stuffed up, couldn't breathe. But, you know, once I went to the site, everything was like gone.
Even so, few gave her a chance of upsetting the odds-on favourite and #1 seed.
Stepping into the whole arena, I felt like I was at home. I was just there and thinking, this is absolutely amazing. I've never been to a place like this in my whole world, and I'm doing what I love, but I also have this like feeling about it that's really extraordinary. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear any voices. I don't remember what people said. It was just me and the ball and my opponent.
Oh, Maria played a great match. She just really played really intense. I was really nervous for some reason. I couldn't sleep the night before. I was too anxious, and I just learned, okay, you just gotta learn to relax. But it was a great moment regardless for both of us in both our careers. I could never figure out why I was so anxious and why I was so nervous, and I'd never been like that my whole career. I'd never been so nervous and so anxious to win and just so nervous to win and just so doubtful. And so it was the first time in my career. But, you know, I learned a lot from that experience.
It felt like I couldn't miss a shot, like everything, you know, just feel so good about my strokes and everything was just going exactly where I wanted it.
The way she played nervelessly in her first Wimbledon final was just a revelation.
I was playing cat and mouse out there. I felt like I was in control.
I was so kind of relaxed and just, I don't know, it's probably one of those days when God gave you the feeling she's going to win.
Maria was in total control, outplaying her vastly more experienced opponent.
I knew she could win. I knew she knew that she could win. Biggest stage in tennis. And she handled it like she had been there, you know, many years before.
At the age of 17 years and 2 months, Maria Sharapova was about to win the biggest prize in tennis.
I just heard like the people just roar and then I'm on my knees and I'm thinking, what have I done? Because I can't believe it. And the people are like telling me that I just won by shouting and by clapping, and it was an unreal moment. And my coach called me over and I was like, I can't, I don't know, I've never done this before. So I go up to the guard and I'm like, can I go up? And he's like, yeah, sure. When you see your dad just in tears, I mean, it really makes you think of you know, what you've done to get these happy tears out of him, you know?
You realize it's something great, something big, and at the same time, you feel like it's over. You grab your child, you thank God, and it's gone.
Next, Maria tried to call her mother.
The phone was not answering, and I was like, what in the world? I just won Wimbledon. Mom, you're not answering. But she was on the plane, and she saw me win on the television screen on the airplane with live television. So, and it was unreal. After what we've been through and my family has been through and where we've come from and what we've achieved, it was just that moment in our lives where, you know, we realized that everything came together and it was like the puzzle just was in place and we were in that moment.
Only the few other teenage champions can tell you what it really feels like.
The innocence of youth carries you through. You don't think about the impact. There's a very special something in the air, and you as a 17, you're aware that this moment can change your life.
Wimbledon champion one day, global commodity the next. In the months following her victory at Wimbledon, we were given unique access into the marketing of Maria Sharapova.
Because everything came so fast, I didn't have like the time to settle down and think, oh, well, that's kind of cool, you know?
It was everything that you can imagine. Crazy requests, you know, media all over the world.
Today, Maria is worth at least $25 million. She's the highest paid female athlete in the world.
It was very different and unexpected in a way, but after Wimbledon, I mean, so many things were unexpected that that's just one of them.
I don't want to name a prince from a certain country wanting to, you know, meet her and different stuff like that, but we were very protective of trying to keep her life as normal as possible.
A tidal wave of prospective sponsors came crashing to her door. Tennis has never seen anything like it.
I think it's incredible. I don't think that I've ever seen a player be marketed so well, so quickly.
We had to go out and identify the right companies that stand for the same things that she stands for. Elegance and champion and quality and cool and hip.
She's got 7, 8 amazing deals in less than a year after she's won her Wimbledon title, so it's very impressive. And again, I think it's not obviously good for her, it's good for the rest of the game.
The list of deals and contracts reads like a who's who of the world's biggest and most respectable companies. Nike, Colgate-Palmolive, Microsoft, Motorola, Canon, and TAG Heuer.
I think there's only few athletes in whatever sports you look that they're going to transcend the sports that they're in. And I think Maria belongs to the niche type of athlete. She's going to transcend the tennis.
Among tennis players, only Andre Agassi is said to pull in more from endorsing products.
Everything you put on Maria, it looks wonderful. So if you give her a T-shirt, and suddenly people want to buy the T-shirt.
Today, Maria is in New York for a photo shoot to promote her own brand of perfume, called simply Maria.
And should we try this dress on first? Yeah.
Maria's parents keep close watch over everything she does. While her father controls the tennis side, her mother, Yelena, supervises all Maria's outside interests, acting as advisor and chaperone. And if Maria wasn't a tennis player, she'd be a natural on the catwalk. Blonde, 6 feet tall, and stylish.
You're looking good.
Beautiful.
You can't deny that Maria is a beautiful woman on top of the fact that she's inspirational. The consumer now is a smarter consumer, and I think they are looking for heroes, and they're just not looking for a pretty face. And somebody who delivers like she does and wins the game like she does, I believe is the person that they want to buy something from.
We've gotten all the requests for covers of Stuff magazine and Maxim magazine and FHM magazine to be on the cover, and it's just not the image that we're looking for her. You're going to see her in the high fashion magazines. That's the direction we're going in.
I have to feel connected to the company, and I have to feel like they understand my position in my job. Tennis is a sport where you play, 11 months of the year, and I don't have a lot of days in my time where I can give this time to my sponsors, and they must appreciate that. They have to understand and respect that.
That's now beautiful.
We're really beginning to see all these like very driven people who've come from poverty, and I think their background really drives them to succeed. And I think Maria's worked really, really hard to get from Siberia to where she is now.
Maria has said she plans to retire from tennis by her mid-20s. That means her earning potential has to be maximized now. It's a tough balance. Tennis or commercial sponsors? Which comes first?
If you want to be #1 in the world, your time is going to be very tight because you have to practice and focus. If you're happy being number 10, then doing photo shoots and doing 20 deals, you can probably still be 10. And right away, she's, I want to be #1 in the world.
And I see these things as fun things, but I've always managed to balance things really well, and I know that tennis is my #1 priority. Oh my God. These are like the best pictures ever.
She says her tennis is #1. We shall find out whether she is doing too much on the endorsement side. How many millions do you need when you're 17, 18 years old? I don't know. I haven't had that problem. But I hope she doesn't overextend herself, and I think there's always that danger.
From the recent past, there are similarities with another golden girl of Russian tennis, Anna Kournikova, and that may serve as a warning. Both she and Maria were Bollettieri students. Both were blonde, and both were a sponsor's dream. But even before she became a tennis champion, Maria was keen to emphasize that's all they had in common.
Well, I respect all the players on the tour, including Anna, but I just try to be myself all the time, try to be Maria Sharapova and not try to be anyone else.
I can remember after she won Wimbledon, she said, they won't be asking me that question anymore. And that question, is about Anna.
Once you win a big tournament, that separates yourself from anyone. But, she's still like Anna in the sense that she's very marketable and very pretty, and she's like the glamour personality of the game now.
I think there's one major difference between Maria Sharapova and Anna Kournikova, and that's that Maria Sharapova is a Wimbledon champion and Anna Kournikova hasn't won so much as a raffle. She never won a WTA Tour title of any description,
Sharapova clearly has that hunger for tennis that Kournikova didn't have. Kournikova got distracted too early into the celebrity lifestyle, celebrity boyfriends, that kind of thing. Sharapova hasn't done that.
I think Anna Kournikova obviously set the benchmark for a lot of female athletes in terms of what they could earn and what they could command in endorsement deals. And certainly that's a debt, if you like, that Maria owes to Anna Kournikova.
I guess I don't think I'm perfect. There are a lot of things that I don't think are attractive, but whatever. I hate judging my beauty. Let's just put it this way, I don't think I'm ugly.
April 2005, and Maria is in Miami. She's taking part in one of the biggest events on the tour calendar, the Nasdaq Open. She's in town for another reason too. She's been voted 2004 Player of the Year by members of the WTA, one of the greatest accolades in the game. 2004 was a momentous year for her. Apart from winning Wimbledon, she won 4 other tournaments as well. This is Maria Sharapova, the superstar, the most sought-after woman in sport. She's come a very long way.
Exactly 11 years ago, I landed in Miami Airport with my father when I was 7 years old, and I had a dream to be the best in the world, and today I'm in Miami getting an award for being the best of last year. I really want to dedicate this award to both of my parents for sacrificing everything, they had in their life to have this dream of mine and to have this trophy in my hands today. There are a lot of people that have been involved in my career, but my mom and my dad have been with me since I was born, and that means a lot to me. I want to thank everyone that has been on my team, and I think they know who they are, and everyone that supported me and throughout my whole years. This really, really means a lot to me, and I really hope that you all enjoyed the tennis of 2004, and I hope to keep going in 2005. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
The question now is just how good can she become?
The younger you are, the only thing you have on mind is to play tennis. And she's very focused. She really wants it. You can see that in her eyes, that desire she has, the hunger to become number one and win more Grand Slams.
Not only does she have all the looks, but she's got the toughness. She grunts and she fights hard, and she's tough. I like that. I mean, she wants to win. She's a fighter. Maria's willing to get kind of down and dirty, and I think that will enable her to stay on top for as long as she wants to be.
Number one strength is her head. She's just very focused, determined. Her attitude is very good no matter if she's winning or losing. It's pretty tough to tell, and I think that's key. Her game itself, she has terrific round strokes.
She stands very close to the baseline, inside the baseline. She hits the ball hard and flat and very, very early. And she never lets up. She's relentless.
She hits the ball so hard. And you see her, she's not super muscular, but her timing is fantastic. She just is becoming the complete player.
If I lose, I don't have anyone else to blame than myself, because I'm on the court, and if I win, then I know that I'm the one to be proud of because I was on the court. And my whole personality is very competitive, even though I'm a very, very outgoing girl, but if there's a line, I want to be the first in the line, and it's, and if I'm in a tennis tournament, I want to be the winner of the tournament.
Away from the tennis, Maria and her mother Yelena are off for a little retail therapy. If you think she was born to be a champion, just wait until you see her shop.
Gosh, the decisions women have to make. Does this come in one? She's very sexy. No, that's hot. I think I appreciate the little things all the time. It's like Jackie Kennedy. Yeah, but now it's like if I want a pair of shoes, I'm just gonna get a pair of shoes. I don't have to wait 4 months to get my allowance to get a pair of shoes. They look good, no?
Oh, so good.
That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. I'm becoming Paris Hilton. That's hot. I've always been a huge fan of fashion ever since I was a young girl. I mean, I'd be changing outfits 4 times a day and I'd be sick of the first outfit when I really liked it at first. I'd be sick of it in a few hours and I'd change into a new one. And I've always been really, really creative and come up with like really, really fun ideas. And I think that's something that I'd really be interested in doing after tennis. This is to travel. The other one's like to go on a date.
Maria Sharapova is, along with her entourage, on her way to New York by private jet. Her mother, her agent, her makeup artist, and a group of friends. They're going to New York to celebrate her 18th birthday. It's all a world away from the deprivations that she and her father experienced when they first came to the United States from Siberia.
I think her parents have really done an amazing job of developing her, giving her values.
This is for my dad and my trainer.
Yuri is, tough, does the tennis.
Dedicated to you guys.
And the mom really is that best friend that she has to really help her through. They have a perfect yin and yang.
Maria's a very sweet girl. I mean, she's mature for her age, of course. I remember after she won Wimbledon and I talked to her for a little bit.
You're gonna become a band.
I really hope this doesn't go to my head. I'm trying to tell everybody around me, remind me, that I'm just a 17-year-old and yes, I won, but I don't want to change. I think it's very hard, though, not to change because she went from, yes, being famous to being just incredibly famous.
We are now in New York. New York, here we are.
But has the fame, the money, the adulation all come at a price? Has Maria Sharapova lost some of her childhood along the way?
We have everybody.
On the journey into New York City, the talk isn't of the Williams sisters, Grand Slams or sponsorship deals, but just the kind of things that most teenage girls talk about before their party.
I'll never cry. Never for a guy.
Here, we have that on tape.
Never for a guy.
Yeah, can you see that on tape?
Yeah, that's a big promise. I'm never gonna cry for a guy. You ever see me cry for a guy? Slap. Yeah. Never.
April 19, her 18th birthday.
It's a real mess.
It's a real mess, guys. Don't.
The tornado.
This is what we call preparation. Who have we got in here? We've got my hairstylist, my makeup artist, my mom, my friends. I don't know.
You gotta have some energy for tonight.
I'm nervous. I'm finally 18. I have to be more mature now. That sucks.
From her parents, Maria received a textbook on interior design and a portable DVD player. Just what do you get the girl worth millions of dollars?
You can dance in those things, those bad boys?
Oh, baby, I can dance in any shoes. Are we ready? We need a piece of paper for all the guy numbers, guys.
The party at one of New York City's most fashionable locations has been paid for by one of her sponsors. The paparazzi are out in force, together with more than 300 guests, friends and celebrities drawn from the world of music, sport and fashion.
There is sometimes pressure of not messing up. There are times where you want to make sure that you're always doing the right thing but meanwhile you're trying to be yourself. And I know very well that I'm not a bad girl, So I know that I can manage myself, and I know that when I'm in the public eye, anything I do is nothing. I mean, there's nothing really, it's not out of the ordinary.
Her biggest strength is to be the normal human being, no matter how big she is. Be as normal as anybody else when she's not playing tennis. It's what I think makes her so special.
because I'm so competitive on the court, I think a lot of people think that I'm a very like tough and like a very competitive girl off the court, but I mean, I am, but I'm not. I'm very, very outgoing, and I'm fun, and you know, I'd love to have a good time, and I could care less about tennis when I'm off the court. But I love having a good time.
The eve of Wimbledon 2005. In the halls of the All England Club, the name of Maria Sharapova has joined the list of famous champions. Navratilova, Graf, the Williams sisters.
I'm so looking forward to it, and the time goes by so fast, and it seemed like yesterday. And all of a sudden, you know, I'm coming back to be the defending champion, and it will be an amazing moment. I'm just gonna be, you know, it's gonna be exciting.
In the days before the championship, she faces an endless round of interviews and press conferences. The media hanging on to the reigning champion's every word.
There is a tabloid frenzy, particularly around Sharapova during this 2 weeks. The tone of the coverage is adoration, really. It works for her as well. You know, she's getting perfume deals out of it. She thrives on it, so I think everybody's happy.
Another thing to defend it. Are you expecting?
Sometimes when you're talking to her, she can come across as a bit of an ice maiden. She can come across as almost this sort of too confident, too poised. And I think that she will reel off answers about, you know, sort of stock responses, if you like, as though there's a little tape running in her head. And then every so often, if you talk to her about her friends or the latest pair of shoes that she's bought, she suddenly switches, and you see her face light up, you see her become much more animated, much more giggly, and much more like an 18-year-old. And I think it's really nice to see that.
Okay. Favorite holiday destination?
Somewhere where it's sunny, anywhere where it's sunny.
Everybody asks me, what kind of a kid is Sharapova? So far, she's okay. So far, she's very likable, and she handles herself with great poise. She's a woman born to be a champion, I would say. So, but I always put that cautionary line in, so far.
The difference between Sharapova last year and this year is that last year she was a novelty, really. Nobody expected a lot from her. We were hoping that she would provide a pleasant distraction, really.
But sadly, the dream was not to last, and Maria was convincingly beaten by an in-form Venus Williams.
I'm obviously very sad. I mean, you know, this tournament means a lot to me, more than any other tournament, so I guess there's many more years to come, and that's, you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, you want to win, but you can't, so.
An hour later, Maria left Wimbledon a disconsolate figure to return to her home in Florida.
Yes, thank you.
Despite this setback, there's one thing on which the commentators are agreed. Maria Sharapova is no one-hit wonder.
She's only 18 years old. Let's not write her off yet. She just has to keep working. She's going to be a fine tennis player, but I think this makes people realize what a phenomenon she was last year. She wasn't a finished tennis player when she won that title.
In a normal year, Maria Sharapova will play around 20 tournaments worldwide. She has endorsements and commercial contracts worth millions of dollars. Everyone's agreed the only thing that can stop the rise of Maria Sharapova is Maria herself.
I believe that Maria Sharapova knew exactly where she's come from and will never forget that. She came from very little. She had to work for everything that she's got, and she doesn't want to forget that. Maria's future's up to her.
For me, it's hard to look at her like a superstar. For me, she's still like a little girl. Whatever she wants to do in life, it's her decision, but she needs to be happy and healthy.
I'm becoming Paris Hilton. That's hot. I want to make sure that I have all the memories I've always been the kind of person that if it's harder, then I do better. It's very hard, to get something, and it's very, very easy to lose it. So while you have it, it's very important to hold on to it.